Hey guys, it's Friday night and we're in the kitchen and we're trying to think of what to do for New Year's Eve. We got lots of little ideas floating around. So we're going to go into one of them. We are going to make some meatballs, some fantastic meatballs that you can either eat in pasta if you'd like, or you can make them as an appetizer. You can make them as a snack. You can make them as a meal. Turn it into giant little mini meatballs if you'd like. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it as an appetizer here, and then you can take it back into your kitchen and do with it what you like. So let's get started, right? It's a perfect recipe, by the way, for New Year's Eve or any celebration, any sort of appetizer you need to go to, because meatballs are loved by everybody. They're kid-friendly, they're adult-friendly, a very well-rounded appetizer that can be very, just based on the sauce that you set them in, and is pleasing to everybody. So we are going to start with, I have 1.8 kilos of ground beef here. I have I have about a cup of breadcrumbs. And for those of you that watched yesterday, these are the breadcrumbs that we used when we made the French toast. So we cut off the crusts, you throw them into I threw them into my NutriBullet, and now I have breadcrumbs. See? So if you make both of those appetizers for your party, you can use up your food. Perfect. No waste at all, right? If you don't, throw them in your freezer, use them for another time. It's definitely doable. I have a can of jellied cranberry sauce. I have half a lemon. I have a jar of home-style chili. I have 2 cloves of garlic. I have an egg. And I have about a medium-sized onion, almost completely chopped, which we're going to finish up while we do that. So let's make sure I did everything here for you so you can have everything prepared when you go to do it. As I'm looking at my list here, I did forget one thing, and that's the brown sugar, but we'll get that when we get there. So I also would add brown sugar to this. So I have ground beef. I have about 1.8 kilos. You can use whatever size of ground beef you want. It depends on how many people you're cooking for. So we're a family of 6, and you add a few more people in there. Everybody loves meatballs, the perfect snack. So we're going to use this package here as we bought it. I've got just about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs, a lemon, cranberry jelly, chili sauce, garlic, onions, and an egg. So we're going to get off to the races. So what we're going to do is first we're going to combine, we're going to put the onion, we've got a bowl here, that's where we're going to start. We're going to first make the meatballs. We're going to get the meatballs going, we're going to get those in the oven, and then we're going to start the sauce. So there's our process. I'm going to start with the onion. I have minced up my onion. I'm going to just mince up this last quarter here. I have my chopper, which is the best tool ever for mincing onions. It's quick and simple, and it takes your onions down to nothing. Now, if you really want them even smaller than that, just chop for a little bit longer. It really is one of these most versatile things you can have in your kitchen. It can be used with carrots, mushrooms, peppers, cucumbers, celery, chicken, I don't know, you name it, it can chop it. It's a pretty awesome tool. Every kitchen should have one. So we're going to take these onions and I'm going to throw them into my bowl here. That was pretty easy. Done. Can handle that. Anybody can do that, right? I'm going to press my 2 garlic cloves into my bowl of onions as well. 1. We put garlic in everything. Even if the recipe doesn't call for it, most likely could use it. So don't hesitate to put garlic in everything you do. I do. We made this recipe almost just as we're making it tonight. It didn't have garlic in it, and we made it on Christmas Eve. And it was a fantastic meatball recipe. We had all this food all over the table, bagging up all the leftovers, and there wasn't a meatball to be found in the house. We couldn't get a leftover if we tried for these meatballs. So it's a really super recipe. It really is simple and easy, and you can take it and blend it into your pastas. You could blend it, like I said, the mini meatloaf one is kind of the one I'm liking. I want to make it into that. We're using ground beef here. There's tons of variations, depends on what you like to use. Again, go for lamb if you want to fancy it up a little bit. Mix in ground pork, ground beef, whatever you're used to using or whatever somebody may have used in your family at one point in time. Do that. This is really, really basic. So far we've got just some onions and 2 cloves of garlic in here. I'm going to put an egg in there. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, I've got everything here. Now, oh, my breadcrumbs. I'm going to throw my breadcrumbs in here as well. And then I'm going to throw my ground beef in. I throw the ground beef in last because it's where my hands are going to get the dirtiest. Once I get moving there, it's kind of no point of no return. I do have, actually, before I throw that in, I'm going to fill this up with a little bit of water just in case we need a little more liquid. When you're working with ground beef and making meatballs and such, sometimes it's a little drier than you expected it to be in the first place, and you need to compensate for that. So we've got a little bit of water there. So I'm going to put this right into my bowl. We're going to give ourselves some room here. Bring this over. And then this is the best part. Your kids can get right involved in this and they just go to town, right? All you're doing is mixing everything up together. You're basically doing what you do when you make hamburgers, right? We're squishing it all. It's fantastic. Easy to do. Let your meat come to room temperature. I don't know if you have any. I have issues with my fingers and circulation, and so if I am using ground beef fresh out of the fridge, I tend to my fingers will lose feeling. It's not a fun thing, but it's just something that I deal with. And so I usually let my ground beef, well, I don't quite let it come to room temperature, but I pull it out of the fridge about 15 to 20 minutes before I'm going to do anything, make hamburgers or meatballs or anything along those lines. Or the best way to avoid it completely is to use your kids, right? They enjoy this kind of stuff. It's like playing in Play-Doh for them. My daughter made these on Christmas Eve, and she thought that this was the best part of the whole entire thing, was making this all up. So I've got this mixed up pretty good here. Now, something that we didn't put in here, that I usually put in every recipe, is a little bit of pepper. I'll add it to the sauce when I make the sauce, but as of right now, I'm going to let it go. But as you're making this, I would add a little bit of salt and pepper. It's usually a really good add-in for this. We'll see if somebody walks by while I'm videoing here. I can have them grab the pepper for me. Okay, so I've got it all mishmashed up pretty good. There's our bowl. You can see it all ready to go. Now this is where everything varies. Depends on what size you're using. We are going to bake these meatballs. We're going to put them in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm using a stoneware piece. If you are a person who just bought a brand new piece of stoneware, which many of you are, this is the perfect way to season your stoneware. Like I said, a lot of times when you buy stoneware, cooking bacon in it is a fantastic way to season it. Because of the fat that comes out of the bacon, it makes the stoneware nice and slippery. And eventually turns it to non-stick. The more fatty foods you would cook on your stoneware when you first get it, the quicker it turns to non-stick. So this is another perfect example. Now we're using extra lean ground beef. Let me just verify that. Yeah, extra lean ground beef. So even with that, there's still going to be some fat deposits on here once we bake it. Whatever you're using in your kitchen, it's just got to be oven friendly, right? We're going to throw this on here. We're going to throw it in the oven. So I'm going to take a scooper. We're making appetizer size meatballs. So I'm going to try to keep them close to even as possible. They don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. Homemade meatballs are anything but perfect, but they're all really good, right? So that's the size of our meatball. I actually think that that's a little bit big, but we're going to adjust as we go. The only thing I would recommend here is don't put super large meatballs on the same tray as super small meatballs, because as they cook, you don't want them to be so uneven, okay? So all you're going to do, another fantastic way to get your kids involved, is this is a perfect spot for them to go. So you're going to get them going on this, making the meatballs. You're going to fill up your whole tray. And then you're going to put it in your oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. You're going to check it about halfway through, maybe turn the meatballs. Not a necessary component to it, but a helpful one if you'd like. And then you're going to pull them out. You're going to remove the meatballs because your dish will have quite a bit of solution fatty buildup on it. You're going to remove the meatballs, let them sit on some paper towels, and then we're going to put them right inside the sauce. I'm just going to wash my hands quickly to move on to the sauce. super fast, right? Didn't have time to sing all the song in there. Okay, so we're gonna pull out our awesome rock crock here. This is what we're gonna make the sauce in. And what I'm gonna do is when I put my meatballs in the oven, or while they're cooking, whichever works best for you, so I'm gonna have this sauce start to simmer on my stove. And you only need to warm it up and keep it on a very low heat. It does not need to bubble, it does not need to cook anything in itself. You're just basically gonna put your meatballs from the oven into it, and that's how you're going to serve it. You're going to serve it in a dish such as this as well, because everybody likes the meatballs warm, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on that. So I have in my thing here 3/4 cup of chili sauce. So I'm going to take my measuring device and I'm going to throw 3/4 cup of chili sauce in here. Maybe a little extra for good added measure. Again, specifics, perfection does not need to be in here. Of course, I forgot a spatula once again, so let me grab that because that's always something we're going to need. And at the same time, I grabbed the brown sugar, which we forgot the first time. So, let's get this going. Now I have a full can of jellied cranberry. We're going to add that. This is something that I have always had on Thanksgiving since I was a kid. It's just something we've had next to turkey. It goes really, really well. It's kind of funny looking. Everybody who sees this for the first time kind of goes, what is that? It's just a sweetener. Really, we're using it as a sweetener here today. So now I've got a can of jellied cranberry. I have 3/4 cup of chili sauce, maybe closer to a cup, whatever. We're going to add a tablespoon of brown sugar. Maybe a heaping one just to give it a nice little added sweetener to it. Remember, we're not working on too much of a healthy issue here because this is a treat. And then we want 1½ teaspoons of lemon juice. So you can use, if you have the lemon juice in your fridge, the pre-made one, you can use that. If you don't, what I would recommend is keep it for emergency purposes. If you need to use it, use that. But if you have lemons, it's always better to press your own lemons. It's really, really simple to do, just like this, except for when you get lemons that are a little bit warped. There we go. And all I'm doing is I'm pressing this with my citrus press, and the citrus press basically turns it inside out to make sure we get every ounce of lemon juice that we need. Okay, that was kind of like a little halfer, not even a halfer. This guy's gonna go all the way. There we go. Don't warp your lemons. Make sure you cut them in the middle. It makes it really hard to press them. So there we go. We've got 1½ tablespoons of lemon juice in here. We're going to mix this up. And like I said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on my stove. And I don't even know if you can see that very well, but it's just kind of, it doesn't look very evenly cooked in here at the moment, but it will get, as it warms up, the jellied cranberry will melt, if you will, and mix in with the chili sauce really nice. All you're going to do is you're going to throw your cooked meatballs into this sauce when you're done. If you feel that it's not saucy enough, go ahead and double the recipe. Like if you've got way more meat than you have sauce, double the sauce recipe than what we've done. Do what you need to do. You can vary the sauce. There's tons of recipes online if this isn't one that turns your crank. Go from there, and then you serve it. Serve it with some toothpicks. Put it out on a nice platter, if you will. Put it in a small chafing dish where the heat is going to maintain there, so they'll stay nice and warm. Now you've got the best meatballs you can make for New Year's Eve, and I guarantee you there won't be any leftovers. They're fantastic, and I hope you enjoy them. So like I said, please comment below if you, I can see some comments there, but I'm sorry I can't comment on them because I honestly, it's too far away. I can't read it. My eyes turned 40. It's just not fair. I need some glasses for reading that distance. So I will respond to them once I can read them after the video here. Comment below. Let me know how you like it. Let me know if you did it. I'd love to see pictures when you actually repeat these recipes. Those are awesome. If there's any products that you've seen us use here or seen me use here, let me know. I can ask any questions, help you get those into your own kitchen, help make your kitchen just as easy, cook as easy as mine does. Share the videos, please. Pass them on to your friends. I'd love to help more people get this in their own kitchens, and we'll go from there. Have a great night. Bye for now, guys.